So it is crazy early to be talking about Call of Duty 2018, which will be the COD coming out next year after COD World War II, the game that isn't even out yet. But when news comes out, I gotta cover it for you guys. And the piece of information that we've had for COD 2018 actually gives us a lot of talking points. I want to sit down with you guys, explain what is going on, and get your opinion on all of this as well. So take a seat, and we will jump a year into the future, imagining that COD 2018 is about to come out. If you're excited for this, give it a thumbs up, give all your thoughts down below in the comments, and let's find out a little bit about COD 2018. So first of all, I just want to cover this off because sometimes I do meet people and they don't quite understand this. I'm sure 99% of you watching this video will understand, but just for the 1%, Call of Duty is in a 3-year development cycle where each year a Call of Duty game is made by either Infinity Ward, Treyarch, or Sledgehammer Games. So every single year, the same people aren't making Call of Duty. So if you didn't like the last one, then you may actually like the next one because it's been made by a completely different developer. Now, COD 2018, the one coming out after COD World War II this year, will be made by the guys at Treyarch that obviously made the Black Ops series, which I am a huge fan of, and Black Ops 4 could be the title name for the 2018 Call of Duty. Most likely won't be, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. So why am I sat here a year in advance talking about COD 2018? Well, Treyarch, who are making the next game, are obviously hard at work at it. In fact, they will have started making the game as soon as Black Ops 3 finished, so they are like well into development. Like a year and a half into development, everything is set in stone. They are powering ahead, my friends. And they recently put up a brand new job listing, which gave us a little bit of a hint about what their game is going to be. So the job role was for a system designer, and you would obviously jump into the role working on the next Call of Duty game. So anything listed within this will be hinting at the next COD. And there was a segment at the bottom of the job listing where it said you will greatly get their attention if, and listed a few things. One of them was a little bit jokey and said if you're Prestige 1 or above on Black Ops 3, which I'm pretty sure anyone applying for that job probably will be, but one of the more serious points on there said the following: they will be interested in a deep knowledge base of firearms and specifically modern military technology. Now, why is this so interesting? Well, it is our first hint at the setting for Call of Duty 2018, which obviously suggests that the title that Treyarch are working on next will be a modern day shooter, which actually hasn't happened in a while, and specifically Treyarch have never done before. They've never had a Call of Duty game in the current day. And that's actually why you'll see Black Ops 2 gameplay in the background of this video. Mainly one, because it is the closest time-based Call of Duty that Treyarch have done to the modern day. It's still set in the future. It's actually 2025, I believe. And also because all of the weapons you're seeing within this video have been remade in Black Ops 3. So if you've never seen the original MSMC, AN-94, or the Peacekeeper, you're going to see gameplay of them here today, which is exciting. So before I go any further and talk about this more, what do you think initially about a modern day shooter? Thinking obviously that this will be coming out after Call of Duty World War II, so you've been playing in the past for a whole year. Probably a movement to the modern day will be a good thing, at least because it's switching up. So let's talk about this a little bit more. The last time Call of Duty had a modern day shooter would have been Call of Duty Ghosts, which backdates to Call of Duty in 2013. And this was just before the EXO jump boost phenomenon for Call of Duty kicked off. So technically actually our last boots on the ground Call of Duty game as well. Now that Call of Duty title was developed by Infinity Ward, obviously, and we are actually returning this year with COD World War II. 2 boots on the ground. So we are rooting ourselves on the ground, no more exos and no more boost jumping. And talking about that, how would that movement system translate into a modern day situation in COD 2018? Well, I just want to say and put out my opinion, and I am very opinionated, that I absolutely adore Treyarch for their multiplayer experience and obviously their zombie experience. I actually think their single player experience in some of the CODs wasn't too strong. I didn't like the Black Ops 3 campaign personally. I think a lot of the other CODs did it far better, but for multiplayer, they're just like perfection. In my opinion, they do it really, really well. Obviously, some of you guys will prefer Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer Games, but this is very exciting because, as I said, they have never done a modern day shooter, which is great. I like it when Treyarch have something new to get their teeth into that they haven't done before, which means they're not like worrying about what's happened in the past. They're doing their own thing for the first time, and that is always exciting. Now, as I said, what about boots on the ground versus jumping around all over the place? Well, it almost 100% solidifies if the game is based in the modern day that exo jumps and boosting around will not return for a second year. Assuming they don't take like an alternate modern day reality, which would be a little bit confusing, where our technology is far more advanced. And don't get me wrong, we've got robotics and AI within the military right now, but not to a point where everyone in the army is jumping around and flying all over the place. So that, I think, is a good thing. Now, could also be a bad thing if after a year of COD World War II, where everything has been solidified on the ground, our boots have been heavy, we have definitely not been flying around. If after a year of that, people are a little bit bored of it and want that extra movement and want that switch up, we won't be getting it next year, assuming all of this stays in the modern day. So if you're a little bit worried that you may get bored after a year, the likelihood is from this source that we are actually going to be getting another year boots on the ground. I think it's good. I think it's good. We've had, what, 3 years running Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3 of boosting around everywhere. I think having 2 years of boots on the ground will be pretty fine, in my opinion. But let me know down below. Maybe you're wanting it to switch up. What do you reckon? Leave a comment down below. Would you rather COD 2018 after COD World War II go back to having extra movement, or do you be happy if it stays solidified as boots on the ground for another year? Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that Black Ops 4 could be the name, but most likely won't. Why is that the case? Now, the reason I bring up Black Ops 4 is because you instantly think, well, it's a follow-on from Black Ops 3, which hopefully in your mind is a good thing. At least to me, that's a very, very good thing. However, if you followed the campaign in Call of Duty Black Ops, arguably the third Black Ops, like, it was a weird link, if any at all, to the previous Black Ops games. But actually, no series within the Call of Duty franchise has gone past a trilogy, so gone past 1, 2, 3. I actually would love to see Modern Warfare 4. I think that would be awesome, but that's Infinity Ward's game, and that's not going to be for several more years. That'll be 2019. We're not going to talk about that right now. However, it means that because of the fact that the story and even zombies kind of wrapped up within Black Ops 3, that Black Ops 4 is most likely not going to be the name for 2018 Call of Duty. But I'm certainly excited to see what it's going to be called. However, there are a few things that get me a little bit worried, and I know it's only the name of a Call of Duty game, but with the franchise Call of Duty being on rocky surface, what does that even mean? With Call of Duty being a bit dodgy for the last year, and with a lot of people going over to different games, which is great, amazing, people are playing loads of different FPSs, I worry that, okay, two things here. First of all, I hope that COD World War II is such a solid game that it brings the community back together, and a lot of players that left Call of Duty over the last year of Infinite Warfare feel like they want to come back and have a load of fun, and they do so. But then there's also the extra challenge of COD World War II keeping everyone's interest for a whole year, which is never easy anymore. So it needs solid DLC, it needs solid updates, and it needs to continually draw people back in, which is the thing I'm a little bit worried about for COD World War II, but fingers crossed that happens. Assuming that happens and we're a year in the future and the Call of Duty franchise is going strong and people are really enjoying it and are still looking forward to COD 2018, in my mind, I would want to know that COD 2018 is being made by Treyarch. And if I'm not too sure about that, we're talking about people here that just pick up COD randomly and don't really pay too much attention to it. If we're talking about that, then if it's not called Black Ops 4, there'll be no link in their head to the Black Ops series, and as a result, no link to Call of Duty Treyarch until all the way back in World at War, which is a long time ago. So they need to have solid branding, a solid name, and something that makes it clear that it is a Treyarch Call of Duty game. And this tends to come down to the fact that zombies is something made by them, but even then now, we're getting Nazi zombies in COD World War II. We've had every other developer try their own breed of zombies, exo zombies. We've even had zombies in Infinite Warfare. So even then, when you think of zombies, you don't necessarily think of Treyarch if you don't really know Call of Duty that well. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I want COD to be in a solid state next year, because for me, the highlight of that 3-year cycle is the Treyarch release. I absolutely love it, and I want Call of Duty to be in a good place next year when a supposed modern day, boots on the ground, most likely shooter in an era that Treyarch have never touched before launches, and I have full confidence in Treyarch that whatever it is, it'll be an absolute banger. But really, we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully the next year pans out really, really well. COD World War II is a success. People want to stay boots on the ground, and this modern day shooter that is supposedly coming from Treyarch does happen, and it's absolutely awesome. Obviously, there is a lot of information yet to even be touched and talked about for COD 2018, and I would not normally make a video before even the next Call of Duties come out talking about the next one, but when information like this does drop, it's always really interesting to talk about it, discuss it, and obviously get you guys and all your opinions down below, because you are the people playing the game, just like myself, so your opinion is super, super valid. We have to hope that Treyarch have their ears firmly with the community and basically are paying attention to everything that happens to COD World War II over the next year, have taken in all feedback from Black Ops 3, and have hopefully taken a lot of feedback from Infinite Warfare to refine the Call of Duty that comes out in COD 2018, because it's a long development cycle with a lot of things happening in between that sometimes it's hard to adjust to when, as I said, they're already a year and a half into development. So if something happens with COD World War II that people don't like, but they already have in their game, are they stuck with it? Do they cut it? What do they do? It can sometimes lead to issues. But I am going to stop there, guys. We've talked a lot about the far, far future. I just wanted you to gauge your opinions on anything you thought about this video. Personally, it gets me really excited, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I am a huge Treyarch fanboy, and this is very exciting for me. Obviously, I'll keep you updated over this whole year as we learn more about that next Call of Duty title. But for now, obviously, I'm firmly focused on COD World War II. I still have a few more beta videos saved up for you guys. We have the PC beta coming out at some point in the near future, which I will definitely jump on. And also the next thing in line to be announced and talked about more for COD World War II will be Call of Duty World War II Nazi Zombies, where we still need to get some full-on gameplay from like a first-person perspective, more trailers, more information. So that's what we're gearing up to next, before the actual release on November the 3rd of Call of Duty World War II. So let me know what you think down below. Share this with your friends. It looks like COD 2018 in a year in advance will be a modern day shooter, most likely boots on the ground, designed by the guys from the Black Ops series. I'm excited for it. Hopefully you guys are too, and I'll see you guys in another video tomorrow. Goodbye.